Hi guys, welcome back. We are in part 2 metals and non-metals NCERT MCQs. Already we have discussed 1 to 18 MCQs in one video, and that is first part, and in the second part we are going to discuss remaining 18 MCQs. I mean from 18 to 36. So you need to watch that first part. That video link will be available in description box, and then come back to this video, and in this video we are going to learn remaining 18. Let us start without wasting our time. Number 19. Generally, non-metals are not lustrous. Which of the following non-metal is lustrous? You see there are four options: sulfur, oxygen, nitrogen and iodine. These three are gases, and if you observe this iodine, that is the only non-metal which will be shining. It has a shining surface. Next, 20th. Which one of the following four metals would be displaced from the solution of its salts by other three metals? You see there are salts, it seems, like maybe magnesium sulfate, or you can consider magnesium chloride, magnesium nitrate, magnesium carbonate, something like that. We have salts of magnesium, salts of Ag stands for silver, Zn stands for zinc, Cu stands for copper. Now which one of the following four metals would be displaced from the solution? Simply to say, metals are categorized into three types. Number one, we can say high reactive metals. Number two, moderate reactive metals. Number three, least reactive or less reactive metals. In these four metals, we need to identify high reactive metals such that it can displace moderate and least reactive metals. Now, which one, if you observe, which one of the following four non-metals would be displaced? Now, would be displaced in the sense, you see there should be a salt of least reactive metal and one high reactive or moderate reactive metal. If it is present, this high reactive or moderate reactive metal can replace least reactive metal. Now our aim is to identify very least reactive metal, that is B, silver. This metal will be displaced. Now I mean AgNO3, silver nitrate plus Mg you take, or Zn you take, or Cu you take, definitely it will be displaced. That is the answer for that. 2 ml each of concentrated HCl, HNO3 and a mixture of concentrated HCl and concentrated HNO3 in the ratio 3:1 were taken in a test tube labeled as A, B and C. You see there are three test tubes, A, B and C. Now in test tube A, what they took? HCl. In test tube B, HNO3. And in test tube C, they took one mixture. What is that mixture? Concentrated HCl and concentrated HNO3, that is in the ratio of 3:1. Okay. A small piece of metal was put in each test tube. So in A test tube, they have dropped one metal piece, in B and as well as in C. No change occurred in test tubes A and B. You see, in test tube A and B, they did not observe any change. So no change. But metal got dissolved in test tube C respectively. So in test tube C, that metal got dissolved. Now that metal could be, so what is that metal? Al stands for aluminium, Au stands for gold, Cu stands for copper, Pt stands for platinum. Now which metal will be displaced in the sense? You see both are correct answers. B, Au is correct, D, Pt is correct. In these two, any one you can mark, or two you can mark, no issues with that. 22, very straightforward question. An alloy is, they are giving options like an element, a compound, a homogeneous mixture, a heterogeneous mixture. An alloy is a homogeneous mixture of two or more metals, isn't it? So straight question, very easy to answer it. Homogeneous mixture. An electrolytic cell consists of, you see, electrolytic cell, simply to say, there will be one beaker, with some electrolyte in it. Electrolyte in the sense liquid where we will be passing electricity, and there will be two terminals which we can call it as electrodes. You see, these are electrodes. This liquid we need to call it as electrolyte, and consider there will be a battery. Consider this is connected to this and this is connected to this. This is big terminal which we can call it as positive. Here this is small terminal which we can call it as negative. Positive we need to call it as anode. Negative we need to call it as cathode. Now this positive terminal of the cell is connected to this, hence it will become positive anode. Negative is connected to this, it will become negative. Now it consists of what? You see, this entire arrangement is nothing but electrolytic cell. Now positively charged cathode, you see, this is positive charge. Positive charge we are calling it as anode, so this is wrong. Negatively charged anode, negatively charged terminal we have to call it as cathode. You can eliminate this. Positively charged anode, yes, anode it is positively charged. Negatively charged cathode, yes, that is correct. Answer is 3 and 4. Where we can find that? B. You can find that 3 and 4. During electrolytic refining of zinc, it gets, I think so you can remember, electrolytic refining, pure zinc is deposited at cathode, right? And it is connected to negative terminal of the battery. You see, you have studied about this electrolytic refining in textbook. There will be one electrolyte of same salt. There will be two terminals. Consider this is positive, this is negative. Positive is connected to this, it will become positive. Negative is connected to this, it will become negative. Now we need to extract pure zinc from salt. So we have to take salt like zinc chloride or zinc chlorides, zinc sulfate, zinc nitrates, zinc carbonates, whatever salt you want, you can take it. And you see, we can extract zinc metal. Simply to say, salt is nothing but ionic compound, isn't it? Ionic compound. Ionic compound is a combination of metal and non-metal, isn't it? Now you see, metals are electropositive in nature because always metals will be losing electron. Non-metals are electronegative in nature because it will be gaining electron. Now zinc from the salt, definitely we can infer that we will be getting Zn plus. Now this is positive ion, isn't it? Positive ion, always it will be moving towards negative terminal because positive and negative both will be attracted, negative terminal. Now with this knowledge, let us try to eliminate few options and let us try to mark it correct. Deposited on cathode, you see, zinc, what I told, Zn plus, that Zn plus always it will be moving towards negative. Negative in the sense what? It is cathode, right? In previous slide itself we have discussed negative nothing but cathode. Now yeah, this definitely will be correct. Let us see remaining also. Deposited at anode, you see, Zn plus, it cannot move towards positive, so this will be wrong. Deposited on cathode as well as anode, no, zinc is positive, always it will be moving towards only negative. Positive will be attracted to negative, negative will be attracted to positive. Remains in the solution? Definitely not, because we are passing some electricity with the help of this cell. When electricity is passed, ionization takes place, so ions will be splitted. So positive ions will be moving towards negative, negative ions will be moving towards positive, that will be happening. So remaining all are wrong. Answer is A, deposited on cathode. 25. An element A is soft and can be cut with knife. Very straight question, I guess. This is very reactive to air, cannot be kept open in air. It reacts vigorously with water. Identify the element from the following. They have given 4 options: magnesium, sodium, potassium and calcium. In this, which one is correct? So blindly you can mark this sodium. Sodium is very aggressive, very vigorously it will be reacting with oxygen, it can react with water, so that only it is kept stored in kerosene, and it is so soft which we can cut with knife. So that is the option. 26. Alloys are homogeneous mixtures of metals. Yeah, we have discussed already, right? Alloys are homogeneous mixtures of metals with a non-metal, sorry, with a metal or non-metal. It can be, you see, it can be combination of metal and metal, or it can be combination of metal and non-metal also. Which among the following alloys contain non-metal as one of its constituents? In part 1, we have discussed one video, if you can remember, stainless steel. You see, stainless steel, this question, I guess it is 15th question. You can check it in part 1. Stainless steel is a combination of nickel, chromium, and here what I told is a combination of iron plus nickel, chromium, and carbon also, if you can remember. Carbon is non-metal, isn't it? So straight away you can mark option D, steel. You see, if we consider other options, then brass is an alloy of two metals. Brass is an alloy of two metals, that is copper and zinc. Bronze is an alloy of copper and tin. Both are metals. Amalgam. Amalgam is formed by mixing mercury with other metals. Mercury plus other metals. So steel is combination of iron, nickel, chromium, and carbon. Carbon is non-metal. So answer is steel. Next, 27. Which among the following statements is incorrect for magnesium metal? You see, guys, they are asking incorrect. So let us see in these four options which one is correct. It burns in oxygen with white, dazzling white flame. Yeah, when magnesium is reacting with oxygen, you can find that will be burning with a white dazzling flame and producing one white color powder, nothing but magnesium oxide. You see, this is correct. You see this C, it reacts with hot water. In B, if you observe, it reacts with cold water they have given. But you see, this magnesium cannot react with cold water, but it can react with hot water. At the same time, it can react with steam, but it cannot react with cold water. In B option, if you observe, it reacts with cold water they have given to form magnesium oxide and evolves hydrogen gas. This is absolutely wrong. It reacts with hot water. Yeah, it reacts with steam. Yeah, that is correct. So answer is B, that is incorrect. Next, 28. Which among the following alloys contain mercury as one of its constituents? So already we have discussed that in case of alloy, basically what is meant by alloy? Alloy is mixture of, homogeneous mixture of two or more metals, or sometimes non-metals also. If one of those metals is mercury, Hg, then that alloy name is known as amalgam. So answer what we need to mark, it is zinc amalgam. 29. Reaction between X and Y forms compound Z, means X and Y both are reacting together to form compound Z. X loses electron. You see this X, they are saying it will be losing electron. Which will be losing electron? We know always metals will be losing electron. So from this we can infer X is metal. Y gains electron. Y will be gaining electron in the sense non-metals will be gaining electron. So from this X is metal, Y is non-metal. Simply to say Z is one compound, nothing but ionic compound. So simply to say sodium plus chlorine gives rise to sodium chloride, one ionic compound. Which of the following properties is not shown by Z? So simply they are asking which is not a property of ionic compound. Now you see, has high melting point. Yeah, definitely all ionic compounds will have high melting point. We need to produce huge amount of heat energy to melt it. Has low melting point. No, it has high melting point. This is correct, this is wrong. Conducts electricity in molten state. Yes, this NaCl, it cannot conduct electricity in solid state, crystal. In crystal state it cannot conduct electricity, but in molten state, what is meant by molten state? It is liquid. In liquid state definitely it will conduct electricity. Occurs as solid. Yeah, all ionic compounds will be occurring in form of solid crystals. This is also correct. So answer is B. This is not the property, has low melting point. 30. The electronic configuration of three elements X, Y, Z are, so they have given X electronic configuration is 2, 8. Simply to say it is 10. Now Y they have given 2, 8, 7. 2 plus 8, 10. 8 plus 7, it is 17. Z they have given 2, 8, 2. 2 plus 8, 10. 10 plus 2, 12. It is 12. Which of the following is correct? Okay, let us see 10. What is atomic number 10? We know hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. Now 17 is chlorine, 12 sodium, magnesium. Now X is metal. You see X is neon. Neon is gas, inert gas. Simply to say it is noble gas, gaseous element. Y is metal. You see chlorine. Chlorine is also gas. It is not metal. It is non-metal. X is also non-metal. Z is non-metal they have given. You see Z is magnesium. Magnesium is a pure metal. Now Y is non-metal. You see, yeah, Y is non-metal. Z is metal. Yeah, Z is metal. So answer is D. Y is non-metal and Z is metal. Next, 31. Although metals form basic oxides, which of the following metals form an amphoteric oxides? What is amphoteric oxides? We know when metal is reacting with oxygen, one product is formed, that is metal oxide. If you see the nature of metal oxide, it will be basic in nature, but not all. A few metal oxides will be showing acidic as well as basic properties. That type of metallic oxide is nothing but amphoteric oxide. In that, in textbook clearly they have mentioned two amphoteric oxides. What are those two? It is aluminum and zinc, right? Aluminum oxide and zinc oxide. So here we don't have zinc, but we have aluminum. Blindly you can mark CAl. 32. Generally non-metals or you see not conductors of electricity. Which of the following is good conductor of electricity? Yes, we know physical property. Non-metals are bad conductors of electricity, but only one non-metal which is good conductor. Straightforward question. Answer is graphite, which we'll be using in pencils. 33. Electrical wires have a coating of an insulating material. The material generally used is, okay, insulating material. Basically it that material should be bad conductor of electricity, which should not pass electricity. Now bad conductor in the sense, of course, that will be in solid state. Of course, non-metal, if you observe, non-metals are generally bad conductors of electricity. There are solid non-metals, liquid non-metals, and gaseous non-metals are there. We cannot consider liquid and gas, because if you take copper wire you take, on that copper wire you cannot coat with this liquid or gas, isn't it? Now you see sulfur will be in form of powder, that cannot be coated. Graphite is non-metal which is good conductor of electricity, so that we cannot use graphite also. All can be used. No, you cannot use sulfur, you cannot use graphite, then you can eliminate this one also. At last, PVC. So straight away you can mark answer PVC. Next, 34. Which of the following non-metals is a liquid? So non-metals, basically I told it will be in solid state, liquid state, and gaseous state. Here, while coming to this liquid state, there is only one non-metal which is liquid state. Straight away the answer is B, bromine. Which of the following can undergo a chemical reaction? Okay, what they have given? They have given salt and metal reaction. Salt and metal gives rise to salt and metal, right? But only one thing, in salt there will be metal and one compound will be present. This metal should be least reactive and this metal should be high reactive, then only it will be possible. Now if you observe, iron, magnesium, basically magnesium is high reactive than iron is least reactive, so this is not possible. Zinc is high reactive, iron is low reactive. This is not possible. Magnesium is high reactive, lead is least reactive. So this is not possible. But while coming to here, copper is least reactive than this iron, which is high reactive than copper. So this is possible. And CuSO4, copper sulfate plus iron gives rise to this iron will be displacing this copper. We will get FeSO4, ferrous sulfate plus copper. So answer is D. 36, last one. Which of the following figures correctly describes the process of electrolytic refining? In textbook, straight away they have given diagram. If you observe that diagram, what they have given in that, you see, first of all, while drawing diagram, your teacher might have told that first there will be a beaker. So observe beaker. In all these four, yes, we have beaker. Then there will be two electrodes. In all these four, we have electrodes, and we cannot directly say which one is positive and which one is negative. Now there should be one positive terminal and one negative terminal. Either way, guys, either way, you can take negative and positive or positive and negative, no issues with that. First of all, now this positive is connected to one, negative is connected to another. You see, this is positive terminal and this electrode will be positive. This is negative terminal, this electrode will be negative. Now you observe here, positive we need to call it as anode, negative we need to call it as cathode. Now first try to eliminate answers by observing this concept. Here you see, this is positive terminal. What they have given, it is cathode. This is negative, they have given anode. But what I told, positive is anode, negative is cathode. You can eliminate this. Here you see, positive anode, negative cathode. Okay, let us consider this one. Negative cathode, positive anode. Let us consider this. Negative cathode, positive anode. Let us consider. Okay, one we have eliminated. Next point, what we need to consider, there should be electrolyte. Yes, electrolyte is present. Next, they are talking about copper sulfate, CuSO4. This is ionic compound, right? Ionic compound is a combination of metal and non-metal. Cu is metal, sulfate is non-metal. Always Cu should be positive, SO4 should be negative, and positive ion always it will be moving towards negative, right? Now you see, okay, we have eliminated this. Next, if you observe, Cu2 plus, they have given it is moving towards this. So plus is moving towards negative. Yes, we can consider. Here you see, plus is moving towards negative. This also we can consider. Here you see, plus Cu2 plus, it is moving towards positive. This is anode, right? So it is moving to plus, cannot move towards plus. You can eliminate this. At last we have to, next point what we need to consider, impure metal is taken at anode, right? Impure is taken at anode, and all dust particles, you see, pure metal will be moving towards cathode, and last dust particles will be settling at the bottom, and that dust particle we will be calling it as mud, and that mud is formed at anode. So that anode, simply to say GANGUE, gang, which is nothing but anode mud. This anode mud should be at anode. Now you see, we have considered these two, right? This impurities which is present at cathode, straight away you can eliminate. Here you see impurities which is present at anode, this you can consider. Answer is C. Like that we need to eliminate answers and we have to go for solution. So those are 36 MCQs from chapter metals and non-metals. Like that I will be uploading all chapters MCQs related to NCERT exemplar. At the same time 2 mark, 3 mark, 4 mark also I will be uploading it. Subscribe for more and more videos and share this video to your friends, as that yourself and your friend both will be learning together. Till then, bye. Have a nice day.